The stream has started. Welcome. I bring you all here today to talk about the truth of reality and the truth of the things that the government's hiding from you. As we sit and
already on that.
You're ruining it. As we sit inside this dark, wet, gross basement under the apartment building that we all currently live in, I pour myself a glass of whiskey and I tell my bros about the things that I've discovered. The deep digging I've done for the last 48 hours straight. I'm tired.
Rick, you heard that, right?
What?
It's not like Furboy was just like...
No.
Was that just me?
Yeah, that was just you.
I heard some fucking noise going. It sounded like you got fucking startled.
Guys, wait. How are the audio levels?
Audio.
Hold on, I'm checking it right now.
Everything should be going smooth as I stir my whiskey with my hand and think about the things that I've discovered.
I need to be in character. Yeah, fuck.
Yeah.
My conspiracy.
I thought you're supposed to be in character, not Batman.
Roll the cages.
Roll the cages.
The Joker's gonna make us around.
Alright, buddies, it's...
You can hear us good, you can hear the music good, you get the vibes.
Wait,
Right?
hold on, let me check the music. The road of the cages.
Come on, man, we don't have enough time. I don't know how much longer we can fucking sit here. Also,
Yeah,
type in chat, make sure my chat works.
Oh yeah.
Type in chat, make your chat works. Do that. That sounds like a
Just
smart
a pause.
idea.
Should work. Yeah, it works. It shows up on the back.
I'm not allowed to type. What the fuck, bro? It just does nothing here.
I'm sorry,
Yeah,
we don't accept comments from white people because their opinions don't matter.
You're white. No,
Oh fuck!
you're basically white.
You said the funny.
Oh man. So today is Halloween, which is the best day to discuss these awful things. And by awful, I mean groundbreaking, mind-bending, the things that you expect but you don't expect, which makes them unexpectedly expected.
Huh?
I want to talk about the candy I brought.
You brought it from the D&D session, didn't you?
No, I actually, what are we drinking?
I'm drinking Svedka, blue raspberry vodka.
That's
What are you guys
such
drinking?
a bitch drink.
What are you talking about as a bitch drink? It's vodka, dumbass.
It's
You
vodka.
fucking dissing vodka? You dissing Svedka?
No,
I drinking
I'm
Svedka.
dissing
Drinking Svedka.
your mom.
You dare to drink the Svedka, you fucking...
I
fucking-
do drink the Svedka.
You go throw yourself into the well.
Bro, I'm gonna have to ask you to take it down and then bring it back up a little bit more.
Who, me?
I will let you
When I
two
get-
discuss that.
When
I'll
I get
let
my
you do
hands
this.
on you, I'm going to thank you for teaching me the futility of human endeavor.
This isn't Danish people discover the world for the first time. This is conspiracy theories.
Well, it's not Danish because you could understand what I was saying.
Yeah, exactly.
Tell that to the next guy.
I'm that next guy. Tell people.
Anyway, we're talking conspiracimations.
Conspiracy.
We're talking MK Ultras and GIFX.
I was actually trying to avoid a lot of the more politically driven ones.
Yeah,
because,
yeah, yeah.
You know how people get. The moment I bring up Kamala Harris and the Bible, people are like, ah! So, I'm not gonna
Wait.
talk about the thing that I discovered last night when I was doing my digging.
Wait,
Well, you're gonna have to tell us in private.
Privacy?
Privacy?
Yeah.
It's
In private.
It's private.
We were all saying, we were all talking about what we were drinking. We ADD'd ourselves.
When?
We asked what we were drinking, and then when we started going off about Svedka, we started riffing on that, then we just didn't continue with that.
Hurry,
Yeah.
bro.
What are you drinking, Rack?
I'm drinking.
Oh yeah.
Daniels.
Hold on.
I'm more important than you.
Well, dumbass, you're streaming on 2 different platforms. You're streaming on the Discord chat and you're streaming on YouTube.
I have to.
You have to?
Yes,
Yeah.
because we're going to be watching videos.
Oh, right, that's right. Well, somebody should have told me.
Act like an implant. Okay, listen. I'm
No.
drinking Jack Daniel's Gentleman Jack. This
Cringe.
was a $60 bottle of whiskey, and it's like, it's all right.
I could kind of hate Jack. Not gonna lie.
It's mixable. That's my argument. Like,
It's whiskey. Don't get me wrong, but it's like the most unsmooth whiskey ever.
no, listen. I would personally enjoy if the place I went to had some Old Smoky salted caramel, but they didn't. They only had like just basic stuff, and the only Old Smoky they had was moonshine. I'm not trying to drink that.
Sounds goofy.
Ugh. So,
I just got some fucking Lucky Bait beer.
masturbation beer.
You can't
It's
say that on YouTube.
Masturbation beer.
it's really good, but it's also really hard to come by. So I only managed to get 3.
You come
Oh
on what?
shit.
So, I have also brought with me some candy for the season. I got nothing but giant candy bars. We're talking a full extra large Kit Kat, an extra large Hershey's cookies and cream, and Tony's Chocolonely.
Only Stoccoloni.
I got myself some Tony's Chocolonely. It's
Didn't he get whacked?
milk chocolate caramel sea salt. It's that good shit, that stuff from New York.
This ain't your mama's chocolate.
I'm actually, because it just, I mean, when you put Tony right on the package, I'm fucking diving in. Let's taste some of Tony's chocolate real quick. All right, Tony's got some fucking extra packaging here, man. Man, Tony's got money. He's got that fucking blood money.
Tony's got people. It got people on the inside.
Tony's got people on the inside. This chocolate's made with cocaine and bitches.
God damn.
Got people on the inside, Rack. How do you think he gets around so much?
But Tony doesn't do the cocaine because you,
Come on.
you don't get high off your own supply. I like to keep my boys with the nose clean.
Yeah. Tonight is Mount Hunt Wild's open beta, so I won't stay so long. No, I discussed already with the boys.
All right. Whoa.
Yeah, and Rack went on a tirade about Monster Hunter. So
Whoa,
we'll
Tony.
just have that another time.
Tony,
Watch
what is
Eats
this?
Monster Hunter, and how Monster Hunter
Tony,
deserves
this
nothing.
fucking chocolate bar is badass. What the fuck? I wasn't expecting that. That's kick-ass.
The secret ingredient is raisins. That ought to keep you quiet for a while.
This fucking oh, hold on, my camera's not working. This chocolate bar is fucking wild, man. This is the craziest fucking shit I've ever seen.
You have candy with beer?
Yeah, fucking caramel chocolate with whiskey?
Or booze, rather. Maybe that works. I'm not really big on
Whiskey's
sweets
just
and
fucking...
beer.
Whiskey's literally made of sugar.
Why it's cringe.
That's why you're fucking bitch-ass baby man. Fuck you.
I like
Yeah,
to
I'm
eat
drinking-
salty stuff. I got like a big thing of fish here or something.
Nice.
Look at this. This fucking chocolate bar.
Just pretty pog.
Chat, look at this fucking chocolate bar. It's fucking intense.
Rate my chalk, bro.
My chalk.
How do I show chat the chocolate bar?
Why do they
You
fuck
just-
up the?
Chat,
How do
look
they?
at this
just
chocolate
draw
bar.
Just draw it real quick.
Look at
Why do
this
they fuck up the squares?
fucking squares.
Yeah, why is there a bunch of triangles and trapezoids? What the fuck?
Yeah, I know, it's
Yeah.
throwing me off. This chocolate bar is insane.
Yeah, I'm gonna divide this evenly amongst my kids, and one kid get like a huge fucking chunk of it. Well,
Oh shit, I didn't think about the light. Hold on, I need to change the light source. Okay, I'm gonna make that bigger. And bring that up here.
You look like you opened up a Willy Wonka bar and you just found the golden ticket.
It's fucking delish.
That's debatable. Nothing's better than Crunch Candy Bar.
There's a lot of things better than Crunch Candy Bar.
guys, this isn't a conspiracy theory.
I know. We're
I'm
talking about
enjoying
chocolate.
Give people like a moment to like breathe, all right, man. I need you to stop rushing things. I got chocolate on my hands.
Don't you understand? Tony has people on the inside. He knows everyone in town. He's always 4 steps ahead of us. Who knows what's in this chocolate?
Tony's pretty base. He's got some good fucking chocolate on his shoulders.
That's how he gets you.
Oh, fuck.
What?
Salted caramel chocolate mixed with the fucking whiskey? Holy shit. That's fucking good. Oh my god. I'm gonna have a mangasm. Alright. So I bring you both here today to discuss something very important. What do you guys know about the fourth dimension?
Let's see. I know that it's like it's widely suspected to be like the realm where spirits and souls go or some shit.
Really, I was imagining it was more related to like time, like a passage of it. You know?
See,
Yeah.
Like
you were
length.
both right and wrong.
Those
So,
are.
what I have dug and what I firmly believe to be the actual concept of this fourth dimension, it's both of those. It's this realm where these things we can't perceive exist. It's also timeless. That's why you get like, you know, when it comes to ghosts or spirits or things, some of these things seem trapped in time. You know, you'll see a ghost in a period of time, like where it resembles a period of time that no longer exists. Like you'll go to a battlefield in the middle of the night, you can hear them still trapped in that time. Because even though we die and or maybe like our souls enter that next realm, that next level of dimension, we still don't have the power to either control, capture, or any of that. We just kind of end up stuck. There are a few details to this that I have slowly pieced together in my brain over the years and has given me this conclusion that kind of fucks with me. Have y'all ever encountered shadow people?
No.
I have.
Oh, take it a swig. I have as well. Fur, what about yours?
So my kind of thing happened when I was driving on the highway on my way back from work. The wifey got home, and then I just wanted to go home.
Now
and
let
eat
it be
some dinner.
known he was awake. That's the important part.
And I was on my way home. I decided to take the dirt road back, which is like I'm driving by like burned down houses and stuff. And I swear on my life, as I was driving on the dirt road back, I started seeing like just like people. I was just like, oh shit, I'm about to run over someone, and then like I turned to look at the rearview mirrors and no one was there, and I was just like, I'm going insane. What the hell? I'm getting too tired.
Mm-hmm. Mine was at my mom's old apartment. I worked nights at a gas station, and the house had already had some issues, but there was this one night, it was one morning, mind you, I get off work, I'm trying to go to sleep. Every time I go to sleep, something kicks the foot of my bed. And again, I'm just like, what the fuck? And it just, like, full force just kicked the foot of my bed. And so I decide, I just fucking, I get up, like, fucking just straight up, sit up, get up, I look, and there's just this shadow person standing at the foot of my bed. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck there's a shadow person. I don't give a fuck that I can see light coming into the room, and there's this thing just standing there. I just say, fuck off. I'm trying to sleep. Please, just go fuck yourself. I don't want to deal with this. And I never saw it again.
Yeah,
But
man.
I was so
Dude.
pissed off. I think I said, it's kind of giving me like the, oh shit. All right, I got it. All right, bye. But there is a connection between the fourth dimension and shadow people and ghosts and spirits I want to make. When
Okay.
the sun hits our three-dimensional bodies, we cast a two-dimensional shadow. When a two-dimensional object is lit, it casts a one-dimensional shadow. So, when you make the connection, these things that we see that we can't comprehend, they cast a three-dimensional shadow into our dimension. and we perceive them as these incomprehensible things that interact with us. These things stuck in time, these things stuck in the moment of when they passed. Some of them, we call them demons. We don't know what they are, but they interact with our realm in weird ways. We can never get full proof of evidence because nothing we have can capture them the way that they are presented to our minds. We can't perceive them, therefore the ways we have of capturing them can also not perceive them. So, what are you doing?
Sorry, I'm just clicking on my thing. Sorry, just adjusting some stuff on my desk.
It looks like it on the stream. It always looks like you're trying to butt in with something, but you keep getting interrupted.
I'm so sorry. I'm trying to fucking fix my desk up here. It's dirty as shit.
Yeah, switch it to hold to speak or whatever.
All right, give me a second here.
And so I wanted to bring you guys, because I was looking for just a right video to convey this theory, right? And I do have one here that I feel like really sells the topic. So let's go down my little rabbit hole that
My little rabbit hole, conspiracies of magic.
It's just stuff I've collected. All right.
All right.
I'm gonna activate the screen for people.
Oh,
Can I help you?
I'm fucking dying. I just took a giant swig.
Holy fucking shit! All
Better
right.
take a shug of that.
Go ahead and shut that up. Let's watch this video. Cosmos, Carl Sagan on the fourth dimension. Now, he actually doesn't bring up some of the things that I've talked about, but his theory here is brilliant, and it definitely does carry a lot of what I was just talking about.
In discussing the large-scale structure of the cosmos, astronomers sometimes say that space is curved, or that the universe is finite but unbounded. Whatever are they talking about? Let's imagine that we are perfectly flat. I mean, absolutely flat.
Can people hear the video
That we
well?
live, appropriately enough, in a flat land. A land designed and named
Double-checking,
by
obviously.
Edwin Abbott, a Shakespearean scholar who lived in
Turn
Victorian
it up
England.
just a little bit.
Everybody in Flatland is, of course, exceptionally
Turn it
flat.
up just a little.
We have squares, circles, triangles, and we
Oh,
all
let me pull that.
scurry about, and we can go into our houses and
Okay,
do
that's
our
good.
flat business. Now, we have width and length, but no height at all. Now, these little cutouts have some little height, but let's ignore that. Let's imagine that these are absolutely flat. That being the case, we know,
Oh,
us
you're really drunk,
flatlanders, about left, right, and we know about forward,
I'm
back.
buzzed, dude.
but
I'm
we
fucking.
have never
I'm
heard
tipping.
of up, down. Let us imagine that into Flatland, hovering above it, comes a strange three-dimensional creature which, oddly enough, looks like an apple. And the three-dimensional creature sees an attractive, congenial-looking square, watches it enter its house, and decides in a gesture of interdimensional amity to say hello. Hello, says the three-dimensional creature.
Now, this here is one of the first steps when it comes to like the ghost stuff that I'm talking about. The way he explains it here is there's no better way to explain it than this display.
How are you? I am a visitor from the third dimension. Well, the poor square looks around his closed house, sees no one there, and what's more, has witnessed a greeting coming from his insides, a voice from within. He surely is getting a little worried about his sanity.
We're talking about, like whispers about behind our head, like fucking even weird dreams we might have, different things and different like times you've heard somebody call your name, but you know that like that wasn't real. Like this would be that on like a third dimension to a first dimensional scale, right?
I get you.
The three-dimensional creature is unhappy about being considered a psychological aberration, and so he descends to actually enter Flatland. Now, a three-dimensional creature exists in Flatland only partially. Only a plane, a cross-section through him can be seen. So when the three-dimensional creature first reaches Flatland, it's only the points of contact which can be seen, and we'll represent that by stamping the apple in this ink pad and placing that image in Flatland. And as the apple were to descend through, slither by Flatland, we would progressively see higher and higher slices, which we can represent by cutting the apple. So the square, as time goes on, sees a set of objects mysteriously appear from nowhere and inside a closed room and change their shape dramatically.
And that's where you get, you know, like these instances of just either horrific things that we might see, you know, images that apparitions in our like our homes, places we go, or just experiences people have, like of just encountering something that should not be there or doesn't look right.
Okay.
His only conclusion could be that he's gone bonkers. Well, the apple might be a
Bonkers.
little annoyed at this
Bonkers.
conclusion, and so
I never thought I wanted to hear Carl Sagan say
Such a
bonkers for
friendly-
now.
It's a really old video.
No, Carl Sagan just sounds funny in general. He's like, oh, you know my speech.
Yeah, but he's also like fucking brilliant, right?
Yeah, I could agree with that.
Although I wouldn't say this is a conspiracy. This is more like a theory.
I would say this is a conspiracy because this is
Why would? What motive would people have to hide it though?
aliens.
To aliens.
Just
It's not like this is making fucking what big 40 people money.
no, but there's a lot of stuff behind stuff like this where it's considered like, oh, you're just thinking beyond. Because I'm connected. See, he's not talking about spirits. This is an actual like scientific theory. I'm talking about its connections to ghosts.
Oh, okay.
Because
Okay.
my conspiracy theory is that this is what ghosts are. This is the spirits that we see. The things that we see trapped in time that present themselves to us as these shadow beings. The demons or the shadow monsters, the top hat man. We're seeing so little of what's actually there. Because it's the same equivalent. It's the apple passing through the first dimension. Like, we're only seeing slivers of what it actually is. Because we can't comprehend what it is.
That's just what Big Ghost wants you to think.
Yeah, big ghost.
the gesture from dimension to
That's
dimension
what King Boo wants you to think.
makes a
This is what King Boo wants you to think.
He's Big Ghost.
Flat feature
This is a good point.
contact with the square from below and sends our flat creature fluttering and spinning above Flatland. At first, the square has no idea what's happening. He's terribly confused. This is utterly outside his experience. But after a while, he comes to realize that he is seeing inside closed rooms in Flatland. He is looking inside his fellow flat creatures. He is seeing Flatland from a perspective no one has ever seen it before to his knowledge. Getting into another dimension provides as an incidental benefit a kind of X-ray vision. Now our flat creature slowly descends to the surface, and his friends rush up to see him. From their point of view, he has mysteriously appeared from nowhere. He hasn't walked from somewhere else. He's come from some other place. They say, for heaven's sake, what's happened to you? And the poor square has to say, well, I was in some other mystic dimension called up. And they will pat him on his side and comfort him, or else they'll ask, well, show us,
Fucking
where
crazy
is that
square.
third dimension? Point to it. And the poor square will be unable to comply. But maybe more interesting is the other direction in dimensionality. What about the fourth dimension? Now, to approach that, let's consider a cube. We can imagine a cube in the following way. You take a line segment and move it at right angles to itself in equal length. That makes a square. Move that square in equal length at right angles to itself, and you have a cube. Now, this cube, we understand, casts a shadow. And that shadow we recognize. It's, ordinarily drawn in third grade classrooms as two squares with their vertices connected. Now, if we look at the shadow of a three-dimensional object in two dimensions, we see that, in this case, not all the lines appear equal. Not all the angles are right angles. The three-dimensional object has not been perfectly represented in its projection in two dimensions, but that's part of the cost of losing a dimension in the projection. Now, let's take this three-dimensional cube and project it, carry it through a fourth physical dimension. Not that way, not that way, not that way, but at right angles to those three directions. I can't show you what direction that is, but imagine that there is a fourth physical dimension. In that case, we would generate a four-dimensional hypercube, which is also called a tesseract. I cannot show you a tesseract because I and you are trapped in three dimensions. But what I can show you is the shadow in three dimensions of a four-dimensional hypercube or tesseract. This is it. And you can see it's two nested cubes, all the vertices connected by lines. And now the real tesseract in four dimensions would have all the lines of equal length and all the angles right angles. That's not what we see here, but that's the penalty of projection. So you see, while we cannot imagine the world of four dimensions, we can certainly think about it.
It's such a fucking crazy thing that the things above can project to below, but for people to ignore the fact that the fourth dimension does theoretically exist, but it would show itself in our dimension in some shape or form through projection. And nobody wants to use that to explain some of the phenomena that we see, that we encounter. Like, another thing you could connect it to is, like, a lot of the more recent... Oh, I got burp.
Yeah, I got a burp. Oh, no.
Oh, God.
Oh, damn.
What was I saying?
Oh, my God, he burped his thought. Oh, no.
Fourth dimension... Oh, aliens. There's a lot of... Let me see if I can find them. Interviews with the aliens.
A really big one that I remember in this kind of topic is actually the incident that happened in I think it was Florida or something. And what happened was a mall got like infested with like aliens or something, and the people called them like shadow people or shadow monsters and stuff like that.
If any state's gonna get in contact with the fourth dimension, it's gonna be fucking Florida.
It's going to be Florida. They're going to be like, who the fuck are you? What are you doing in my Gatorlands?
Rumors of shadow aliens. Let's see. I'm sure they're impossible to find now, but there were some interviews with these government officials that were coming out of the... Remember the talks that were going on about, like, oh, what's real, what isn't, where they're disclosing all the information to some public officials that can only tell the public so much. Fuck, it's so hard to explain, because I would love to find a fucking video about it. UFO hearing prevented the House. We're done with the cover-ups.
Alright, I'm gonna move my mic 1 second.
Last year, the House Intelligence Committee held a hearing on UAPs.
What the Sigma?
They brought in some Pentagon bureaucrats who only had two answers to the questions they were asked. I don't know, or that's classified. This hearing is going to be different. We're going to have witnesses who can speak frankly to the public about their experiences. We've had a heck of a lot.
No, this isn't it. So, Fuck, I really wish I had saved the videos.
If the government tells me aliens exist, they don't exist.
So, it was the disclosure hearings where only selected officials were allowed to go into the interviews with the people who have all the answers. And they came out, and one thing they kept correcting everyone on, because the media that was trying to interview these people, like, we can't tell you, like, too much information, but the thing that we need to drive home the most is all of you keep saying extraterrestrial. That is not what they are. They are interdimensional. Bruh. They are not extraterrestrial. And when you go back to Carl Sagan's fucking was that the right name I just dropped?
Yeah, that was Carl Sagan.
Okay, my brain just fucking deleted. I said Carl Sagan and I thought of some Democrat. What Carl Sagan was saying, how like the apple interfered with the first dimension, and the, like, you know, the square saw everything. He saw through everything. He saw so much more than he could ever even comprehend. There are people who have abduction cases where they have similar experiences. People who have, you know, had lucid dreams where they encounter like beings, and they take them on a ride where they go through things, they see through things, they go places, and they encounter things that are happening currently. Like, I'm sure you've read the lucid dream cases where that's a thing.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like where they just kind of like, they just fly around the world and they see people doing things, they can see through walls. They are experiencing a sort of spiritual connection to that realm that we can't get to. And like, see, the shit goes so deep where it kind of blurs the line between supernatural and paranormal.
What is paranormal other than just having two normals?
When you're telling me this, well, the only thing I'm really thinking about is also, Rick, I think you can find the videos if you just go to your history bar.
Oh, I saw these forever ago.
Okay, but yeah, no. When you're talking about that, about the aliens being interdimensional, I'm gonna say that's boring as shit. I really wish that they just came in giant fuck off spaceships with giant.
I don't think
guns.
You realize how fucking terrifying that is.
Well, yeah, I understand how terrifying it is, but I wish they were dumb. Yeah, I do, actually. Something with the capabilities of doing the ways that they could do it through telepathy and all this other stuff where they're sent into a different dimension. I could understand that, but I want a giant fucking laser gun.
You said nothing in the sentence you just said.
We came here for a giant laser gun. What are you on about?
The amount of nothing you just said a bunch of buzzwords. No.
What are you talking about?
You promised a laser gun if we showed up.
Hold on. Shit. Let me see if I can find it.
Fuck is
that?
Sorry, I was.
Oh my god, are we streaming?
Yeah, we're streaming.
Yes, we're live, you dingo.
We've been streaming. You told me to watch the stream, dude.
Hold on. I think I'm putting the stream on the stream. Let me see if I can find it.
We're watching the stream on the stream, bro.
We're watching the stream on the stream.
I'm checking the audio.
Oh my god,
are we streaming?
Yeah, we're streaming.
It's some meta shit, bro.
Oh my god, is that us? Holy shit!
Oh my god, is that Markiplier?
Gross. Markiplier cringe.
Horror of interdimensional aliens.
I've seen that where they're like they could like phase through into your body and just be like dead.
No, God, I really should have said that. I didn't think I should have. I didn't think I was gonna get on this part of the
That's
aliens.
how
you can filter the videos by like going to the filter bar, dude.
You don't understand. Like, I watched the who's me?
Aliens are real. Holy shit!
They're real, dude. They're fucking real.
It's not an alien. That's fucking Dobby. There was this old
hey, Mr.
interview
Potter,
where
I'm
this
gonna
guy.
hit the swiggy.
There's this old interview with this ex fucking CIA agent, and he was explaining like actually like how it supposedly works. And the horror of it is that the reason why we are such a special case of existence is because there's something special about the energy and soul of a human, and that we're basically an energy farm for these beings. Like, when we die, it just gets filtered for them. The concept of aliens being interdimensional is far more terrifying than you would think. Like, it's not just, oh, they can phase in and out. No. They have so much control over us that we cannot comprehend what they can do.
No,
like, they are practically unstoppable because they can reach through our knowledge of understanding and do things to us that we couldn't even fight against.
Why don't we have control over two-dimensional beings then?
That's a good question, actually.
Well, what do you explain? What do you mean?
Well, have you ever seen a truly two-dimensional being?
We perceive that with light.
Yeah, we can't. Yeah, it's only shadows, though.
So can we harvest their energy then?
The world we perceive is two-dimensional.
The hell are you talking about? No, it's not.
Hold on. I got you.
It's three-dimensional.
Listen to this kid talk. Let this kid explain it. The world we see is two-dimensional. We don't perceive the legitimate three dimensions. What we perceive is two-dimensional. Just like
wait a minute.
Just like a two-dimensional being perceives things one-dimensionally.
So wait, what, they see a bunch of lines and... Oh, shit, that just blew my mind.
We see a bunch of planes!
Oh, fuck!
I fucking told you!
You blew my fucking mind! Holy shit!
You can't see all around an object because we're not four-dimensional beings.
Behind this kid. This is the only video he's ever made, and he wouldn't, and nobody knows where he is now. But he made this fucking brilliant video, and nobody knows where this kid is.
PewDiePie.
Dimensional plane. Now, assuming that.
Sorry, first word to come to your brain. PewDiePie.
Imagine that this folder is a dimensional plane.
Listen to him.
Now, assuming that it is no height and no depth, what would this mean? It would mean that it's a one-dimensional world. So if, hypothetically, an organism was living inside of it, it would only be able to move in a linear path forward and backwards in a straight line. Now, if we go to the second dimension, we have two dimensions. We have width and we have length. So hypothetically, if an organism lived inside of here, then it would be able to move up, down, left, right, and anywhere else in between. And a two-dimensional world is comprised of an infinite series of one-dimensional worlds stacked upon each other. Just as our three-dimensional world, which has depth and length and height, is comprised of an infinite series of two-dimensional worlds. So, now that I have stacked many folders upon each other, we have three dimensions. We have depth, we have length, and we have width. Now what happens if you keep going on from here on out? We would have a four-dimensional world, but what exactly is a fourth dimension? In order to understand this, we need to understand how dimensions are perceived. We live in the three-dimensional world, but despite that, we actually view things to be two-dimensionally. Take a perfect sphere, for example. If you're looking at a sphere, it looks just like a regular two-dimensional circle. The only way that you can tell it's an actual sphere instead of a circle is because of the hues of light on it. So just like in a two-dimensional world, if a organism in the two-dimensional world was looking upon a circle, the light would make it appear to be lighter at one end and darker in the middle. Also, if an object is moving closer and farther away from you, you don't actually perceive that it's getting closer and farther away. You see that it's getting smaller or larger, and then you assume that it's getting either farther away or closer. But let's say that an object was to grow in perfect equilibrium, so that it was growing at the same speed that it was shrinking as you move it farther away. Then you would not be able to tell, without any lights or if there were details on the object, that it's moving or growing at all. You may have assumed that since we perceive things to be in two dimensions, that a two-dimensional organism would see in one dimension. So, as we're watching this rubber band expand as it moves farther away from this little organism in the two-dimensional world, it does not actually perceive anything is happening to it because it's growing at the same speed that it's moving farther away. But since we can actually see it from the three-dimensional world and perceive things to be in two dimensions, we can see things for how they actually are. The reason that the two-dimensional organism doesn't see things the way they really are is because the two-dimensional organism sees things in one dimension, just how we, three-dimensional creatures, see things in two dimensions. So in a way, we don't really see our world the way it truly is. A four-dimensional creature, however, seeing our three-dimensional world in three dimensions, would be able to see through things. Would be able to see absolutely everything, just as we could see if there was several organisms spread along a 2D environment on your floor. You would be able to see inside houses. You would be able to see inside of people. So if a two-dimensional world, a flat surface, is just made of an infinite amount of lines, then the 3D world is just made out of an infinite amount of planes. So the 4D world, logically, is made out of an infinite amount of 3D objects, though they're not just put together like you would like building blocks. That's not how the 4D world is. That would just be 3D again. So in order to understand this, we need to understand the logical progression of mathematics in our world. Imagine that this connects...
I'm going to pause it there. You get where I'm coming from now.
Yeah, I get it.
The way how I'm thinking about it is that they see us in like a oh my god, how do I describe that? Like in the video games version of a third person view. You know, like a free camera movement kind of shit. Like you could just go from in and out and go.
Well, see, that's what you think, but in reality, that's not. Like a fourth dimensional being would be able to see us easily.
I just gotta move my mic because apparently nobody fucking heard me talking.
No.
Oh yeah, I just now realized that. I turned you up. I turned you up to a 200. I was like, oh fuck, where is he? And then you started talking. I just blew my headset.
Oh, what were you saying?
No, it's like it's interesting now that I realize it because like yeah, no, our brains understand the concept of 3D. We can comprehend that,
Yeah.
but our eyes don't. That's why we have two of them.
Yeah. Because depth is the only way we have to see in that realm of 3D.
That is true. That's fucking wild.
Yeah. So, now do you guys believe me a bit more on this ghost theory?
I'm starting to make more sense about it.
Well, it started making sense on like Carl Sagan's stuff, but I just didn't see how it would make sense on our level, right?
When some of the fourth dimension,
like why can't we manipulate the two-dimensional plane? I thought.
But we technically do.
Yeah, no, I said I thought in past tense.
Technically, there are no beings, complex beings like us that can exist on that plane because they don't have like the structure to exist on it.
Well, our eyes perceive people as 2D as well. Maybe we're all multiple parts of a four-dimensional being.
That was another theory I saw where we are actually the shadows of four-dimensional beings.
The shadows or planes of it.
Which would get a little more complicated because if we were to die, that means that the shadow would return to the being it was projected from.
Mm.
So technically, that would mean our death would sort of trap us in this confusing realm of possibility. And I think that's where the time gets weird because you see these timeless ghosts.
They're called timey-wimeys.
Timey-wimeys, yeah.
Woobly-wooblies.
You actually just made a Doctor Who reference without even like knowing it.
I feel like it did, yeah.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Wibbly wobbly timey-wimey is the one
Wibbly wobbly
of the 11th Doctor. My personal favorite. So, this is just a fuck shit mumbo jumbo.
That's the 12th Doctor.
Yeah.
Fuck shit mumbo jumbo.
It's funny because now I'm going on Doctor Who knowledge. Peter Capaldi was in a previous show where one of his catchphrases was "fuckity bye," because whenever he would leave the scene, he would say "fuckity bye," and he fucking
Fuckity bye.
and everyone wanted that to be his catchphrase when he became the Doctor.
That's so dumb.
I love it. But
it's like the least British catchphrase.
Fuckity bye. Oh man. I'm gonna be real. This was definitely worth the $60 whiskey. This shit.
Don't drink it all up.
It's just. Oh god, no! I bought the big bottle.
You got the big bottle.
Well, the biggest bottle was about $80. I bought the second size down. What?
What?
He lost his train of thought.
Bro.
Okay, I think that's enough on this topic. I do want to go back to the shadow people thing real quick.
Yeah, okay.
And I'm going to pick an excerpt from this particular video.
I will say the fact that I just now realized that we see in the 2-dimension really fucked me up, because I was just like, I literally just said, so what? The 2-dimension see in 1-dimension? And I thought about it. And I put myself in like a piece of paper, and I looked at my friend. My friend would just look like a fucking 1-dimension freaking line.
Yeah.
Like I would, I would look at Jack. We were standing side by side in like the 2nd dimension. He would look like a line, and you would look like a shorter line, which fucks me up.
See, now that's where it gets crazy, because we perceive everybody in the 2nd dimension. So, which would mean.
Which means next bots on next box from Gmod are actually canon.
Hold on, I'm trying to remember what I was trying to say. I lost it as I was talking.
2nd dimension. When you talking about you guys perceiving 2nd dimension.
Huh?
Did that jog your memory?
No.
Fuck.
Okay, we're gonna watch this video.
One theory I'm considering is that what we perceive might not be a physical presence. It might be the projection into our perceptual field of an entity in a parallel dimension, or who operates on a frequency that is visible to the eye of a dog or the eye of a cat, but not visible to our eye. I mean, we only see this portion of the spectrum of radio waves. A cat sees another spectrum, a dog sees another spectrum.
I don't know if he's going to cover it in this video, but that was another thing I saw. One of the ways to get rid of shadow people is to have an old-time radio that has like a better, like a older projective, like radio frequency, because you disrupt the waves that presents them.
I literally thought you were about to say you pick up the old radio and you throw it at them.
No.
I mean, that might work.
An old-timey radio. Like, modern-day radios don't have they work on a smaller frequencies, less disruptive. Older radios work on higher frequencies. And whatever it is could potentially scramble whatever perceptive incoming signals we're getting.
I'm going to find myself an old radio, and I'm going to play KSI's new song on it just to see what it does with fucking ghosts.
I got another argument. Hold on.
From the screen,
shut the fuck up. I hate you.
You lost the train of thought again.
Where's the choo-choo? No! Stop!
We're not doing anything.
He can hear me fucking giggling.
Fuck you guys.
Spectrum. Could
Jack,
something
fuck you.
like that. And one of the reasons I think it might be a shadow or a projection of a being in another dimension is because of something very surprising that I have heard.
I remembered. Okay, so I know what I'm trying to say. I just don't have the words. It has to do with projection and light. Okay.
Four-dimensional.
All right. If our shadows and the things we see are we have like the depth, we have everything. It's all mainly light based. The only way we can see is through like the light and the reception that we get and the perception that we get through light.
Yeah.
What the fuck is casting the shadows for these things?
Precisely.
Yeah, so if they're casting these shadows into our realm and interacting with it, then something because they exist beyond light. Their shadows are cast through time.
Like, wait a minute, then what the fuck is casting the energy of the sun?
Yeah, what is the sun? You see, you start looking into this, and you start realizing how much you don't actually know, because with the fourth dimension, the sun exists in the third dimension.
But it doesn't look like the sun.
But it's just a big ball of gas in the sky.
It's a big ball of gas that's projecting a second dimension energy from it.
Yeah.
What the
Which
fuck?
means that there are parts that there's more to it. What we see of the sun is what we can perceive of the sun. What we see in life is what we perceive in life. There's a lot of stuff we can't perceive. There could be things. You ever fucking accidentally tripped over nothing? Who knows what the fuck was there?
We tripped over the spectrum of the fourth.
Like,
yeah, like you'll go on for this for like 40 minutes, and you'll be like, and that's what I think is fucking with me. Every time I try to throw something in the garbage and I miss.
I really, yeah. Like, who's to say that the reason why I can never throw something away properly is because there's something there's this fourth dimensional being blocking me.
just coaching space.
Garbage blocking you.
Now, I've coached many people who've had shadow people encounters, and by total coincidence, people around the world have told me the same hack that they have discovered for disrupting these appearances. And it is the playing of a shortwave radio in their room. Now, my dad used to listen to shortwave radio all the time because that was the only way he could listen to the BBC World Service. And I've heard of people who will have the radio on shortwave, and turn the volume right down so they can't hear anything. But as long as they're doing that, these apparitions are discontinued. I find that fascinating, and it just makes me wonder if there's something to this idea of shadow people being a projection that can be disrupted through disrupting the sound, radio, or energetic environment of the room. Yet there are aspects to this experience that suggest it is something other than an energetic phenomenon or a projection phenomenon, that these beings might be something other than mere shadows. One of my clients experienced visitations from shadow people for 10 years while he was living in the UK. He then emigrated to another country, and for the whole decade he was living overseas. No more visits from these disturbing shadow people in his home. When he returned to the UK, he moved to a completely different part of the country to where he lived before. But as soon as he was back in the UK, the visitations of the shadow people started up again. And it was only by using that shortwave radio hack he was able to put a stop to it. Now, I find that fascinating. Again, it suggests observation, and it may be observation of a location rather than a tagging of particular individuals. Now, I said just now, it might not be a pure projection or energetic phenomenon. These could be physical entities that are appearing to people in a cloaked form. Now, again, just to clarify, we're talking about a person-sized person, but they are cloaked, and they often look like they're wearing a black cloak and a hood, but you cannot see their face. There's no visible features. It's just solid black. But I know two people who have had physical interactions with these entities. Mike Ricksecker is the author of A Walk in the Shadows.
It looks like Zach.
He tells
looks like Psychic Pebbles.
Of being at home as a child and being visited by one of these shadow people.
I'm gonna stop it there. That's going farther than what I was talking about.
Okay.
But again, they're on the cusp of the theory that I've come up with.
What's your theory, big guy?
I fucking feel like I've said it like a million times.
I might have forgot.
The 40 people are the time babies, and they take my garbage.
I can't throw away my trash because some fucking shadow fourth dimensional motherfucker's being a dickhead.
See, that's when you bust out the old time radio and you start playing music on them, and then you just fucking fucks them up.
I'm gonna play Diddy music so he gets scared. Scared of getting diddled. Alright. I feel like that is far. I guess I'll reprise the thesis here. Is that the shadow people, the ghosts that we encounter, are actually projections of the fourth dimension down into our third dimension.
That we perceive as two dimensions.
No, now you make it more complicated. Oh, man. Alright.
What's the next theory? What's the next conspiracy?
A game theory.
I want to go after the community for this one. Because several people recommended the birds aren't real. And okay. I went down
the birds work for the bourgeoisie thing?
No, don't introduce new words on me.
What the fuck?
No, doesn't like big words.
There's like this, oh yeah, all birds don't actually exist, and all birds are government spy drones.
I mean, they are. I
went down that rabbit hole because people fucking kept suggesting it. Fuck y'all. It was such a frustrating nothing theory. It was just a big fucking joke. They have I'll show you this. They have a bunch of fucking, what are they called?
Records?
Birds aren't real.
Excuse me.
Yeah, they have all these documentaries. Am I saying that right? Documentary.
Yeah, bro. Look at the fucking
documentary. Goddamn! Now I'm starting to doubt.
Documentary.
It doesn't sound right. It sounds like a stupid.
You're enunciating every part of that word. No normal person does that. Which one is it?
Well, then you're not a normal person.
Every single one of these is one massive joke that a bunch of fucking college students came up with.
Well, so what? They tell the joke and they start doing the Fortnite dance.
Yeah, look at this fucking shit-eating dude. This dude eats shit. Fuck this dude.
He looks like he's gonna tell you about he's gonna be like, yeah, birds aren't real. Go check out my pyramid scheme.
I believe that this fucking conspiracy theory is an industry plant by the government to make conspiracy theorists sound more fucking like crack cocaine, fucking crackpot.
Make them sound like underground druggies where we're underground.
Yeah, because these guys they make a whole documentary about it. I fucking hate that word now. They make a whole fucking. Oh god. They make a whole documentary. This doesn't sound right.
Documentary.
They make a whole documentary about it, and it's just nothing but these guys making up all this bullshit while grinning and be like, yeah.
They can't keep their fucking straight face.
They all have this dude's face. They all have this shit-eating grin, and they're just like, yeah, it was just this thing we came up with. And it's fuck all of you. And all it does is make the actual conspiracies more non-believable because this is what gets reported on.
You know what? He reminds me of? He reminds me of fucking Elon Musk. Yeah, no, he reminds me of Elon Musk, the way how he's holding a paper, he's smiling for the camera.
No, he reminds me of some kid I bullied in high school.
Maybe he was, and he made this just to fuck with you.
It must be the Lonely Island guy.
Cody D said #giggles. I don't know what to do with that information.
Hashtag, what the fuck are you on about?
Hashtag giggles. He's drunk!
Okay, but yeah, so the bird theory is complete bullshit, but the conspiracy theory behind it is that it was actually constructed by libertarians paid by the government to make conspiracy theories seem more meaningless and hoax-worthy.
Oh, so what you're talking about is a psyop.
Yeah, it's a fucking psyop. This whole bird thing, because it's complete bullshit. We know birds exist. People own them. People breed them. People have them. People grow them. Like,
I grow birds.
that's how birds are made. You grow them in an egg.
You incubate birds.
You incubate birds, not grow them.
Growing
in my fucking garden.
Fuck you.
Ah, yes, freshly picked birds.
What is the difference between growing and incubating?
There you go. See, look at that. Brave already give you an answer.
It's the same fucking thing. You grow humans, you grow birds.
It's called raising humans, you troglodyte.
You grow them. Humans grow. It's called growing up for a fucking reason.
Then, no, the process is like taking care of an egg as it hatches.
Yeah, you can
whatever
make them.
That's what incubating is called. Hell, it's probably even called incubating in human sense.
But the cells grow. The bird is hatched and it grows up into a full bird. Everything grows.
Right. That's when you raise the bird.
Oh, no, it's not called raising up. It's
you
called
don't
growing
grow the
up.
bird. The bird
it's
grows
called
itself.
Growing up. It's called fucking growing up.
That's called raising.
Grow up. You fucking man baby. Everything grows. Things age and grow. You grow into adulthood. You don't raise up into adulthood.
Did your parents grow
stupid. You? Yes, they did.
No,
my dad shot me out of his fucking balls. My mom grew me in her stomach, and I fucking grew up.
Incubating you.
I spent 30 years growing into this raccoon you see before you.
This is a monetized.
You didn't grow much, apparently.
Make sure to join us on our next streams.
We're not ending yet. Shut up.
Incubated and then raised you.
Shut up!
Grow you like you were a fucking houseplant. Were you a houseplant, Rack?
Trees and being in physical.
Were you the weed in their basement?
You can grow just like weed can grow.
You don't raise weed. You don't incubate.
The only difference is that I don't enjoy you.
Damn, you said that. Holy shit.
It's called growing up.
Yeah, you're the one who does the growing. They didn't grow you.
Okay, what is the process for a robot then? Is that considered making or design?
That's just making and then like
engineering.
That's engineering.
Oh, we'll agree on the robot part.
Bro, these Cerebro unicorn gummies fuck hard.
Cerebral unicorn gummies?
Rack, I think you're drunk.
Fuck you.
Cody D says, you don't grow, but you grow birds, lol.
Look at this shit.
Alright, Bo, let's go.
This is fucking delicious.
Unicorn delicious. This is girl candy, bro.
You know, out of the whole stream, the only person that looks
like a pretty princess.
The only person that looks like they're sane enough to drink is Jack.
You don't grow people.
Yes, you do. It's called
no, you raise them. You incubate and raise them.
Raise is just another adjective.
It's used for living beings.
Yeah, guess what? You can use it for anything. I raised that tree.
No.
Shut up.
The tree doesn't have manners. The tree doesn't have a personality.
Yes, it fucking does. Have you not plugged up music to a
tree?
If it can make music, it has personality.
That's mushrooms.
Are you saying guitars have a personality?
Maybe you can raise a mushroom because we don't know what the fuck a mushroom is.
A mushroom is a fourth dimensional being.
Probably.
I mean, how many people...
Oh my god, that's the dumbest thing I've heard all day. Holy shit, I'm fucked up.
Fuck you, you fucking grow. What was the next thing? Oh yeah, birds.
I don't know, you tell me.
Fuck people who believe that. I got another one though.
Right, what's that?
I went down this really long rabbit hole that had to do with COVID being a bioweapon that got out.
Oh, I believe that firmly.
Yeah.
And the fucking rabbit hole I went down, finding out that the amount of disease outbreaks that happened were actually fucking lab leaks. and the fact that there are several times where anthrax, fucking Anthrax Island is a thing. Like, there is places in Russia you can't go because you will just die from disease.
Well, like Chernobyl?
They call it I think it's the Anthrax Chernobyl of Russia.
What the fuck?
Yeah! And this is just shit that they've had a lid on. And they only recently got, like, the actual details of this. Look at this fucking shit.
It's the summer of 1978. A woman with
I love this. I love this
all over
huge
her
channel.
body
This is my
is lying
favorite.
in a hospital isolation bed in severe pain. Doctors wearing thick rubber gloves cautiously approach, they being the only people in the world allowed near her. After losing sight in one eye and losing her...
I need to go to the COVID thing first. I'm going to start with COVID. Let's listen to this guy talk about COVID.
If China had acted in a timely manner in that 3-week window when something could have been done, 95% of the cases of COVID would never have happened, and we would not now...
Off topic, I've actually met somebody with this dude's same disease-ish. It's kind of like a genetic defect.
What are you talking about?
His body can't produce hair.
What? That's just baldness.
No,
what are you talking about?
Him. He's got no.
Well, he has no eyebrows.
He's got no eyebrows. He's got no facial hair, and he's got no hair. I've met when I was at church. There was this band that came in, and I had actually got to meet them. They're pretty cool. But I had to question because it's like, yeah, you got no eyebrows. Like, was this like a style choice? He's like, oh no, I got this really rare disease, not disease. It's a genetic defect where you just can't grow hair. Your body doesn't produce hair.
How does he stay warm then?
Your mom's pussy.
I was about to make a joke about him being related to that fucking cat, but I can't remember the fucking meme's name. I'm stupid right now.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna
pandemic. That situation is what we are confronting day by day. Grip of a global pandemic. That's it.
That was one of you.
Yeah. He didn't just rip. He didn't just rip that.
Can you explain further what the weaponization of COVID means?
First of all, there was the control of the data, so that nobody else could say things about what was really going on, and apportion blame in the way we've been talking.
Because people listen to him speak. He's important.
People simply were not confident about what we knew and did not know. It isn't just bureaucratic inefficiency, people in Wuhan scared of what their bosses in Beijing will say. This is a deliberate cover-up to maintain control, first and foremost, of what's happening inside China. We mustn't underestimate the importance of the Chinese government trying to control its own people and manage its own disasters, without, of course, the rest of the world knowing, but mostly because they're not sure of how Chinese people themselves will react. And the biggest concern at that time was what would happen if all this came out at the time of Chinese New Year. And of course, we now know that that was the worst miscalculation of all, to think you get away with allowing millions of people to travel around inside and out of China, and that would not inevitably result in what was an infection outbreak, becoming an epidemic, and then a pandemic. That was the massive error of judgment. But that error of judgment was made, I believe, in consciousness of the extent of the problem and the risks associated with it. An extraordinary state of affairs. When Chinese officials say something, that is what they are saying as the...
Australians.
What are you talking about?
They're Australians.
Australians, bro. It's always been Australians.
If an Australian is complaining about it, you know it's important. Because
fair enough.
They had to stop fighting kangaroos and measuring knives to come and tell us about this.
It was actually fighting ostriches. Get your lore right.
Notional representatives of the Chinese people, and anybody who disagrees with that is therefore taking an anti-China position. Mm-hmm. And if you haven't got the strong enough evidence to prove it, there is this. The lie direct is an incredibly powerful political weapon used by totalitarian regimes, but the big lie is out there, and the people who are, one way or the other, captive by Chinese political and economic and other pressures have to toe the line. And if they don't support that kind of story, they're not members of the Big China Club. These kinds of stories continue, and they have been absolutely at the heart of Australia's response, Australia's efforts to establish the truth, which of course has been seen by the Chinese Communist Party as a direct attack on its authority and its nominal truthfulness. And that has resulted in the deterioration of relations and the economic blackmail that has been exercised against Australia. Because the Australian Prime Minister said a WHO inquiry will not prove anything, a Chinese inquiry, it has to be independent. And that triggers a massive defensive, aggressive response on the part of China. And the same has happened to many other states who've taken a similar position.
So, forecasting, if you will, into the future, how do you expect the relationship between Australia and China to develop?
A great deal depends on the extent to which...
Oh, he's not actually there.
I thought... Yeah.
It's because this was filmed during COVID.
Yeah.
It makes so much sense now.
Oh my god, my head hurts.
That felt like a bit.
I fucking laughed too hard fucking with Rack and the whole fart bit. My head hurts.
Feels able to separate what previously had been separated. The two.
It's okay, Jesta. I know you missed some. You can actually just rewatch the VOD because it will be available. Oh god.
Oh no.
I need another drink.
Yeah, currently we're discussing the factoids towards the fact that COVID-19 it was a inside operation to get people sick and die.
I don't think it was it may or may not have been an inside. I don't trust the Chinese government at all, but the problem lies within the fact that going down this rabbit hole, I found out that there are so many viruses that were an accidental outbreak because because America and Russia and China won't stop fucking with biological weapons.
Two boxes, one containing a political relationship and one containing the economic relationship. The extent to which the Chinese have weaponized this situation to increase their control over democracies, interfering in elections.
Okay, yes, that was one of the biggest ones that I personally believe that the last election was super fucked because of COVID. But it's like this weird power stance, right? Like China didn't struggle as much with the coronavirus like the rest of the world did. And they used that as like propaganda to drive home that clearly democracy doesn't work and communism does. They build a narrative off of the failures of other countries during an outbreak that they caused. It's this whole fucking political rabbit hole in that section that I actually don't think I can go down publicly on YouTube, because that could actually get the channel flagged and in trouble. But there's a lot of fucky shit going on that I looked into with this stuff. All I can say to the people who are watching, please do the research yourself, because this shit is what the fuck. Like, I always thought, oh yeah, COVID was an inside job. Oh my god, I think COVID was an inside job. Just like a lot of the other plagues that have fucking hit people. Ever since World War II, ever since World War I, like, it's almost a 20-year gap between every single disease.
Pheromone can really get people to do what you want.
Well,
so I wouldn't be surprised.
Hold on. There's this chart that I was reading. I actually had it fucking tabbed, and I fucking deleted it when I started the stream. And I don't want to web browse, because I don't trust Google to not give me some random weird COVID porn. But it was a chart, and once you hit, like, World War I, is whenever, like, biological weapons start becoming, like, a thing that, like countries are trying to do. Every single outbreak was contaminated water, avian outbreak, contaminated water. Every single one down the list was all avian or contaminated water. And it's like, it's the most easy way for anybody to just kind of spread a virus. Jefferson Epstein is still alive. Enter the Dragon, LOL. What is this? What is Cody talking about? But I'm going to use this to get into my other thing, which was which this kind of backs it up a little bit.
It's the summer of 1978. A woman with horrific pustules all over her body is lying in a hospital isolation bed.
For people with weak stomachs, this video does show some actual cases of some of the diseases they're talking about. This shit, there's a couple like real life images in here that are kind of hard to look at. So, if I can man up.
Man up. Doctors wearing thick gloves cautiously approach, they being the only people in the world allowed near her. After losing
I've actually
sight
seen
in one
this,
eye and
so I'm
losing
gonna
her
take a
mind,
tinkle
she dies.
while this goes.
The date was September 11th. Soon after, there was a funeral, but no one was allowed to attend. That's because she died from smallpox, a disease that had been long since wiped out in England. How did that happen? The answer is a lab leak. And as you'll see today, similar leaks have caused absolute mayhem in the world, including the deadly anthrax leak now known as biological Chernobyl. That is one utterly terrifying story, and we'll tell you about it in all its gory detail. But first, the woman who died such a lonely death was named Janet Parker, and she was the last person to die from smallpox in the UK. In fact, she was the last in the entire world. Parker was a medical photographer working with the University of Birmingham Medical School. As researchers worked with the smallpox down in the labs, she'd be up in her darkroom developing her photos. The disease might have been eradicated in the country, but that didn't mean research stopped. That's why when she started feeling ill on August 11th of that year, she didn't even consider it being smallpox. She told her doctor that she had a headache, and then when he looked her over, he saw that she had red spots covering parts of her body. His first thought was chickenpox. Not only was smallpox a thing of the past, but Parker had actually been vaccinated against the disease, albeit back in '66. But when her muscles started aching and her spots turned into a horrific rash now covering the soles of her feet, her legs, and elsewhere, doctors knew this was trouble. She was whisked off to the hospital, after which she was given a diagnosis of variola major, which is the worst type of smallpox. The worrying thing was this was a highly contagious disease, and Parker had been near a lot of people in the short time that she was ill. First, her parents went into quarantine, but after an investigation, it was thought that about 500 people had been close to her. They were all placed in quarantine and vaccinated, while health specialists fumigated all the places where Parker had been. One of those people was her mother, and in spite of her being vaccinated, she also got the disease. Thankfully, she didn't seem to have a major strain. But then Parker's father died while in hospital quarantine. It was thought he actually died from a heart attack just after seeing his daughter on her deathbed. But an autopsy couldn't be done because the risk of him having smallpox and infecting someone else. But the question on everyone's mind was, how did she contract the virus in the first place? Surely, if she had gotten it, there had to be a leak and someone else might have gotten it. As officials were pondering the question, Parker started getting much worse. She went blind in one eye, and then one day, seemingly not knowing what was happening to her, she tried to clamber out of bed and rip out the drip in her arm. She died soon after. This was so serious that no one could attend her funeral. It was, as the press called it, the loneliest kind of death. But such strict measures had to be taken. In the 20th century, the disease is thought to have killed around 300 million people. But as it's an ancient disease, God knows how many has felled throughout history. The origin of smallpox is unknown, but it's thought to go back around 3,000 years. Pharaoh Ramses V died from it in 1157 BC. In the recent past, when there was an outbreak, something like 20 to 30% of infected people died. Even if the victims survived, they were often blinded or left horribly disfigured. So when it made an appearance in 1978, when it was thought to have been wiped out all over the world, you can be sure.
I'm going to skip ahead, because we get it. Labs, do make mistakes.
Yeah, they're like, oops.
Yeah. Oopsie, we just killed 2,000 people.
Uh-oh, oopsie daisies.
Me, I dropped the petri dish.
Vaccinated, and many people had to go into quarantine. Whatever went on in that lab on the island, we may never know. But even though it was abandoned a long time ago, strange things have happened in the waters surrounding the island. The BBC reported that tons of dead fish once appeared in the water, while one time 2 fishermen were found dead in their boat. It's thought they contracted the plague. Even more scary, one day 50,000 antelope grazing nearby just dropped down dead.
This is all shit that happened!
All of them died within the space of an hour. This place has been dubbed Anthrax Island, with the BBC stating, Over the years, the site flourished into a living nightmare, where anthrax, smallpox, and the plague hung in great clouds over the land. And exotic diseases such as tularemia, brucellosis, and typhus rained down and seeped into the sandy soil. We'll come back to anthrax and a tale straight out of a horror movie, but first, there's probably no disease that scares people as much as the dreaded Ebola virus. That's something we would hope never gets leaked from a lab. Well, it has in the past.
The Ebola outbreak and the scare back in fucking 2012.
Yeah.
While Ebola can be deadly, it doesn't make people look like zombies, as many fake images on the internet seem to suggest. But when you hear that it kills human cells and can make them explode, thereby wreaking havoc on the immune system and making people bleed from the inside, well, that's scary enough without the fake news. This is why people work with it in labs, so they can make vaccines. But sometimes things go wrong. Handling viruses, them being invisible and all, isn't like
the children's
fiddling around
fault.
with a bunch of Lego bricks.
God damn it!
Reports in
Handling
2009
viruses
that a
such as
woman
children.
working at Bernard Nocht Institute for Tropical Medicine in Hamburg got infected with Ebola by accident. The good news is that she was given a vaccine shortly after, and she was okay except for having a high fever. Her name was never given to the press because, hey, it's not cool to have your name associated with Ebola. It was said that she was working with the virus when she pricked herself with a needle, and we don't know much more than that. When people contract Ebola, they have a 50 to 90% chance of biting the dust. There's no cure yet, so victims just have to hope their immune system kicks into action and does the job it's supposed to. Unfortunately, this didn't happen to a Russian scientist who'd accidentally pricked herself with a needle back in 2000.
Oh my God! Stop!
Oh yeah, it's like, are we looping the story again?
Everyone's just like, oopsie, Ebola.
Oopsie! Was Antonina Presniakova. Every effort was made to save her life, but those efforts failed. All the people involved in trying to save her, of course, had to wear protective clothing and then be sent to quarantine. Maybe some of you are now thinking, well, that'll never happen to me. Others might be thinking, didn't COVID come from a lab? The answer to that still remains a mystery, although as we write this, the New York Times has a story doing the rounds with the title, "You Should Be Afraid of the Next Lab Leak." The article said when someone works in one of those high-level labs, the safety protocols are incredibly strict. This is how one guy's entrance to the lab was described. He carefully dons a pair of gloves, puts on the hooded suit with gloves attached to it, and then adds yet another pair of gloves. After a hose from a ceiling pipe is connected to a valve on his suit, you inflate like the Michelin Man, he said. He passes through an airlock and into his lab. But errors can happen, and if they do happen, such as a suit has the tiniest of tear in it, the outcome could be incredibly bleak. It's not like forgetting to...
Isn't it fucking crazy that something that small can fucking ruin an entire planet?
Yeah.
That's why I want to make
one. And the fact that people are fucking trying to make these things.
Turn off the oven. Take, for example, the incident at a lab in China, in which severe acute respiratory syndrome, or SARS, escaped not once, but twice in 2004. A spokesperson for the WHO explained. We suspect 2 people, a 26-year-old female postgraduate student and a 31-year-old male postdoc, were both infected, apparently in 2 separate incidents. How did this happen? We actually don't know because China isn't telling, but we do know that the incidents happened 2 weeks apart. This was especially worrying because foreigners had worked in the same lab and later got on a plane and then went back home. In the end...
Accident? Or, plan, right? It's just super suspicious that it happens around the same time that foreign ambassadors visit. There's an accidental outbreak, like before they go back to their countries.
Daisy. Ambassador, we did an oopsie daisy.
Like, the SARS, and then you got the fucking COVID. It's like China's fucking with some shit. They might not be like a warmongering superpower, but they're really fucking with some stuff, man.
Hundreds of people were tested and had to be isolated, but it seems that it still infected another 7 people outside of the lab. No one died, which is fortunate, seeing as the fatality rate for SARS is somewhere between 11 and 14%. But the question remains, how did it leak? It was never found out, although one SARS expert said the lab might have had all the right rules, but the people may not comply. For example, notebooks are not supposed to be taken out, a lot of things like that. A virus doesn't jump on people. Since the SARS outbreak in 2003, there have been 6 different lab leaks, although it seems that none...
I like to imagine that you walk into a science room and there's just a bunch of cages on the counter. It's like, what? What is just like cages like waiting for animals? Like, no, those have the deadliest viruses you could ever imagine in them. It's like, what?
You keep them in cages.
You keep them in cages. Like, yeah. It's like, and that's safe. It's like, yeah, they can't get out. It's like,
I mean, like, you know, humans can't get out.
It's literally the baby rhino meme where it's like, this is the most secure cage in the world, and it just walks right out. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
This is literally what these memes. This is the meme. This is the meme.
None of them have been too serious. We did find at least one fatality, though. Let's just hope human error in those labs doesn't happen much more. It's almost always that, with Bloomberg writing that when a leak happened in a Taiwanese lab, it was down to botched decontamination of laboratory waste. It only takes one mistake, though, and if it's ever proved that COVID was leaked from a lab, well, just look at the havoc that it's caused all over the world. But now let's talk about anthrax. We know you are dying to hear that anthrax story. One time that was leaked, and the outcome was very grim indeed. First of all, the reason why the place we talked about earlier was nicknamed Anthrax Island was because vast amounts of the stuff was put on barges in 1988 and transported there. We're talking up to about 200 tons of it. This is not the kind of place you want to go on your vacation. The Nenets tribe in Russia knows all about that, since 72 of them were not long ago infected with anthrax near where they lived, in the town of Salakhard, close to the Arctic Circle. 2,300 reindeer died as a result, but there was only one human death as well as many hospitalizations. The reason it happened was said to be down to global warming and the ice melting. The bacterium was in animal bones that had been buried for a long time, but they came back to the surface when unusually warm temperatures caused a thaw. The worst symptoms of anthrax have been described like this: inflammation of the membranes and fluid covering the brain and spinal cord, leading to massive bleeding, hemorrhagic meningitis, and death. There are 3 types of anthrax, and fatality 75% fatality rate, even if the infected has sought treatment. As you know, it comes from animals, but another reason for getting anthrax is because someone made it as a biological weapon. That's what happened in 1979 in an event sometimes called the Biological Chernobyl. The Soviet Union at the time was developing biological...
It always goes back to fucking Chernobyl. Just like the massive, the just monumental failures of Russia. And just communist countries, man, always fucking with shit they don't need to be fucking with.
Weapons at a military research facility in the city of Sverdlovsk. This was all hush-hush, of course, and when the leak happened, the Soviet authorities said it was down to contaminated meat. That was a huge lie, a lie about an event that killed many people. At first, the doctors saw that there was a sudden influx of people who had pneumonia, and there was no good reason for it. Within a week, dozens of them were dead. American spies were over in Russia at the time, and word got back to the US, and then the Soviets had some explaining to do. Their answer to the riddle was that those people must have eaten contaminated meat. That's how the story stayed for about a decade, after which the truth came out. The 66 people that died had met their end because there had been a lab leak of anthrax. It was discovered that scientists had been working on an anthrax biological weapon at Compound 19 in the Special Zone when the wind blew the anthrax spores and they traveled to nearby villages. Russian researchers later said that there was a defect in the system which carried the contaminated air to the exhaust and then outside. One woman who got sick worked at a ceramics factory near the lab. One day she went into work and her boss asked her, "Why is it that your hands are blue?" That was probably because she had low blood oxygen level. She was rushed to the hospital where she spent 3 whole weeks.
I don't care much about the personal story, but I feel like this drives home the fact that COVID might actually have been either a lab leak or some fucking fuck shit going on. I'm eating a gummy, so give me a second.
Gummies?
I'm mauling a unicorn in my mouth. And that rabbit hole took me to figuring out what might have happened in America, because clearly they've reported on all these other countries having problems, but you don't really get a lot of information about America having issues like this. Whiskey. That's good shit. I'm kind of fucked.
Oh, whiskey.
There is a biological site here in America. It's called Plum Island. Without the B. So it's not yummy. Come on, give me something to talk about.
I was just watching the videos, bro. What the fuck?
Yeah, I was fucking like invested and then Look, man. Horses.
Huh?
Horses pay for your health care.
Divorces?
Horses.
Plum Island.
I know about
Monster.
Plum Island. That's the funny one.
The horrors of Plum Island.
The horrors of Plum
Generosity.
Island?
Hey.
Generosity.
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 You remember the Montauk Monster?
Yeah, that's where apparently it came from.
It apparently came from Plum Island because the fucking history goes back to like some of the Nazi doctors that they ended up taking back to America. They actually took refuge in New York and worked at Plum Island for fucking experimentation and shit. Now, a lot of the information behind Plum Island is a lot about like, oh yeah, we're just trying to cure hoof and mouth disease. Yeah, that's our goal, is just to stop hoof and mouth disease. This one disease that sometimes has an outbreak every now and then. But I saw a bunch of emojis and I forgot what I was thinking. The Plum Island. It's fucking spooky wooky.
Spooky dookie, creepy peepee.
Oh god.
Which one is it, Rack?
Let's watch this. Which, mind you, this is one of my favorite editing styles, like, of all time. I love this shit.
What? Oh, this shit.
Yeah.
Less than 100 miles from New York City is Plum Island Lab. Here, the U.S. government conducts top secret
It's just so
yeah, dude.
like it's lost tapes editing.
Dude, this is some fucking shit we're not supposed to watch, man.
And an alarming past tied to Nazi.
Oh no.
Military technology expert John Gresham has been denied access to the island. Now he decides to view the lab from the air. Once
There I am above the island.
less than 2 minutes
I'm inhaling a lot of asbestos.
to get from Long Island to Plum Island. Along the south side of the island are the abandoned
You go to the
ruins of
island,
the
you
original
develop
lab from
anthrax,
the Nazi scientists.
and it's like, there's no plums here, there's only death. This is a terrible vacation.
Oh, I didn't want to go out here.
They said there were plums out here. There's nothing but dead cows and diseases.
Oh, this is the worst getaway ever.
I guess I'm gonna die.
Oh.
How much they've expanded since the 1950s. A very large receiving and storage facility over
I need to get an editor who can fucking like mimic this style of editing. It's like mid 2000s. This is some confidential shit. Ugh.
Good.
Back on the ground, John analyzes the video he shot.
This is a vulnerable island. It needs to be looked at, and perhaps the facility moved.
The government does plan to move the bioresource
Some random white guy flies a helicopter over us and tells us what to do.
Oh no.
lab to a new facility that would be built in Kansas. But the plan has been stalled.
In so many ways, this is not a facility that folks in this densely populated part of America should be forced to live next to.
For now,
Oh, gross.
Plum Island will remain open indefinitely. The danger of exposure to locals remains unchanged.
And
The uncanny valley.
ah, hi, Neil deGrasse Tyson. That's a subject for a different video.
Yeah.
His ass is the grass, and I'm gonna demo it.
He's gonna sing with brass.
Whoa.
Whoa, dude.
It's a
whoa.
4-minute video, my man. Calm down.
Namely, this picture here framing the notorious Montauk monster. This is all things creepy.
All that edit, all that intro, just for some dude to be like, and it's called the Montauk Monster.
And it's
Here's
called
a single image with no edits and no effort put in. I'm just gonna talk over the one image.
You know what I think of when you do a voice like that? I think of I think it chills. Here is a video
Number
that has
15.
no.
My mom doesn't love me, so when I went home, she sent me to my room with no bedtime munchy.
She kept whacking me on the throat until I sounded like this.
She beat me on my booty.
My mom will flick my bean sack until I come.
I'll drink to that. I'll drink to that.
Cheers, bro. I'll drink to that.
My daddy didn't love me, so I punched my girlfriend. Now I'm in prison for assault and battery.
It sucks to be this cool.
I'm gonna make awful rap music and think that I'm interesting because people only follow me because I have one thing that I do, and it's not even that good.
Number 50, and please unban me, kitten.
Like,
Oh
my god!
Oh, I'm just doom scrolling.
Yeah, you're just doom scrolling. I think the viewers are having a fun time.
Yes. Yes. Do we have any
when we come out at
viewers?
the end of this road, we're gonna see.
Let me double check.
Plum
We
Island.
have 4 people
Lyme
watching.
disease is one
Hello,
of those
4 viewers.
illnesses that unless you have it or you know someone
Oh,
who's afflicted
fuck.
by it, most people
about
don't
the
even know
Max's
that much
channel
about
gets
it,
right now.
other
We'll
than
get there.
that it's caused by a tick bite.
Should I stream
It's
Monster Hunter
referred
later?
to as the great
You gotta say
indicator
stuff like
because it
Skibbity.
mirrors many
Am I
other
playing
awful
Monster
medical
Hunter?
disorders, including chronic fatigue
What, did you
syndrome,
forget already?
diabetes, multiple sclerosis,
Yeah, you
arthritis,
forgot.
fibromyalgia.
Oh, Plum Island is responsible for Lyme disease and ticks.
All I can
Yeah.
think of is when when it's. Is it usually spelled with a B?
Bitches?
No, plum.
No, it's spelled with a P.
No, it's
Okay, no, like a plumb.
Oh, a plumba.
You're making this shit up.
No, he's talking about plumbuses.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
like from
boy.
fucking Rick and Morty.
No.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Before I learned what plum, or at least the English word for plum was, whenever I see this, I just think of the Bravest Warriors characters.
Plum.
I got
Yeah.
nothing for you. I don't watch garbage.
Bro,
Well-
yeah, you do. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about, bro? You binge watched and cried when watching Haspin Hotel.
I would
This is
rather-
confirmed.
I would rather kill myself.
You just say that because you're invested into Blitz's story, bud. Sorry.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah,
look
go
at
ahead.
I'm actually more
every time,
disappointed if that's a character. I'm disappointed that you know the name.
every time Moxie shows up on the screen, you're like, he's literally me for real.
He's literally me.
I don't know which one that is.
He's the. Fuck, what is he? He's the beta male. I don't know.
He's the cuck demon out of all.
He's the cuck demon who somehow managed to bag the baddest bitch in the show.
I don't know.
That's not.
I really don't.
You're playing it off really well for the viewers. I hope you know that.
I don't know.
That's some serious
the
acting
only
skills here.
character I know is Charlie because people make some really good porn of her.
You know what this is called, Jack? This is called method acting, and it's prime. This is beautiful.
At least
Everybody
I
should
have
take a
talent,
lesson from
bitch.
Mac.
Yeah. I wasn't beating my wife. It was method acting.
Your Honor, I did not kill my wife and her boyfriend. I was just method acting as O.J. Simpson. Anyways, Lyme disease is Nazi ticks.
Yes, it
And
is
Alzheimer's
Nazi ticks. If you get bit by a
disease,
tick,
just
you're a
to name a
Nazi.
few.
You got to get turned
Initially,
into a
Lyme
lime.
disease causes a barrage of painful symptoms, including tiredness, unrelieved by
Drunken.
sleeping or resting, insomnia, abdominal pain,
I
nausea,
hate those ones. I hate the ones with the
mood
red
swings,
bit, with
joint
the red
pain,
butts.
recurrent headaches,
I hate 'em all.
fever, chills,
Fuck ticks.
dizziness, difficulty concentrating, and even impaired short-term memory. All along the sides of this road are some very...
You're walking through the forest and a tick bites you, you're like, where the fuck am I?
Where the fuck am I?
Just pants down, ass up in some bush.
No. It's because the ticks with the diseases invoke short-term memory loss. So it's like if fucking bites you, you're like, whoa, what the fuck? Where am I? Who the fuck is that?
Like the video just cuts to that.
Wait, did this bitch really just go outside and walk?
Walk down her dirt road.
You mean to tell me you're gonna make a documentary and then go outside and touch grass in that video? That ain't gonna happen, buddy. Alright?
Let me dig to this guy's video to cover this.
Now, if you'd like to...
Generosity.
This motherfucker.
I don't like his content because of that stupid talking fucking fish.
What is wrong with the fish? What the fuck?
It deserved to be cooked.
What fish?
You're fucking...
Show him the fish! Show him the fish!
Developed biological weapons for the U.S. military.
Also, can I just argue, his voice does not match his face at all.
His jawline does not match his neck. It's a lot of things that just don't match with him.
Like his eyes, like I cover up like the lower part of his face and look at his eyes, right? And then like move your hand away. It's like, whoa, wait. The top half of his face does not look like the bottom half of his face.
You fucked me up with that. It's AI generated.
Yeah, just cover up, just audience, cover up half this dude's face so you just see his eyes and like his like top of his head, but then like cover like the bottom, his like the top half of his face, and just look at his nose and mouth and chin. The two don't match.
Make sure to understand that you're looking at
And
a
his voice
2D,
doesn't match
2D
either of
dimensional
those.
creature.
He weaponized ticks. And between 1966 and 1969,
Between
almost
1996
300,000 research ticks, they got out.
Fuck.
The fuck? What fuck?
Willie Bergdorfer, the researcher who is credited.
So, the researcher that's credited with the creation of Lyme disease is a Nazi researcher that was working at Plum Island, and it said that he is mostly responsible for its outbreak across the U.S.
Yeah, because he decided to take it home for a day.
With discovering Lyme disease. Turns out that Dr. Bergdorfer was a bioweapons specialist. The interviews, combined with access to Dr. Bergdorfer's files, reveals that he and other bioweapons specialists stuffed ticks with pathogens in a quest to cause disability, disease, and death.
Oh, fuck!
Oh,
Between
shit,
1966
dude.
and 1969, government researchers released 300,000 ticks into the wild. The ticks were irradiated so they could be tracked.
300,000 irradiated ticks. What could possibly go wrong?
Yeah, see?
Oh, plenty.
Yeah, see, he's great.
You did not need that.
Yeah, just stick a fucking stick through it and then
You
fry
did
it.
not need that. So he said that radioactive ticks and nobody became tick man.
Nope. Everyone just died.
That fucking sucks. Like,
Yeah, so if you get
awful.
bite,
Nothing, no magic in the world.
yeah, if you get bit by a tick, you just get cancer.
Yeah, you just get diseases.
One of the
I don't
species
get cancer,
released
I get
were
mad.
Oh my god, who gets 2 ticks on them like that? What the fuck?
Oh, wait till you hear about how some of these ticks work. It makes me scared to walk through the bushes.
ticks
I
are
walk through the bushes and get like one every
Watch
like
the
once a
video!
week.
Especially aggressive. Most tick species wait for prey by attaching to a blade of grass. When an animal brushes against it, the tick latches on. This is called questing. Lone Star.
That's called Kathleen.
That's called Kathleen. You fallen for my trap, Trixie.
Yes, you are all parts in my little tick game.
Shut up for a sec.
Ticks are different. They don't wait. They actively hunt. They can smell the ammonia in sweat and the carbon dioxide from breath. They're the only ticks with eyes.
Unlike other ticks, the Lone Star can bite multiple times. Even their young, called nymphs, can feed on humans. Lone Star ticks can go months without food. They can absorb water from the air. They can survive underwater. They can be frozen. Female Lone Star ticks lay hundreds of thousands of eggs at a time.
And scariest of all, Lone Star ticks swarm. They'll ball themselves up in groups of almost 10,000 ticks. And when an animal or person brushes up against a group, it means thousands of tick bites. And these ticks carry a lot of diseases. Rocky Mountain spotted fever, ehrlichiosis, tularemia, heartland virus, and on and on. A bite from a Lone Star tick can even trigger a delayed allergic reaction to meat.
That tick bite leads to an allergic response to the alpha-gal sugar that's found in red meat.
Ugh, I wish they would.
Developing an allergy because a fucking tick bite you so you can no longer eat red meat.
I've heard about that, and I shit my pants every time I see a tick on me.
I learned that some people can just all of a sudden have a life-threatening allergy to just shellfish and seafood.
Yeah.
It'll just happen sometime.
Yeah, when you get bit by a tick, it's like a real life debuff, dude. It fucking sucks.
Yeah, and there's no cure.
Yeah, no. My father-in-law currently has I think he has like lingering Lyme disease because he got the red ring around him. Like one of his bites had a deer tick, and he's just like, now he has to keep an eye out for that shit because he's contracted it.
Mm-hmm. All because some Nazi fucking scientist decided, I'm gonna take down America when I die.
I'm going to make them
I know this is
going to be very funny, yeah? That's just a prank, ball.
Get the prank, Americans!
Oh no! We all got bit by the Nazi ticks!
Oh no! Go
Rack, you're drunk. Shut up.
You get bit by a Nazi tick and it turns you into a Nazi.
You get the... Oh no, you're done for.
Confined to the southeast United States. Thousands were
Listen to what he has to say. He's a smart man.
Released in Virginia in the late 1960s. Since then, they've expanded to the entire eastern half of the United States, from Minnesota to Maine, down to Florida, and all the way across Texas. And they're still moving.
I was called to investigate an outbreak, and I was horrified. I studied ticks for 10 years, and the number of Lone Star larvae I found was just astonishing. They're everywhere. Every property that we have gone to, we've found Lone Star ticks. They're literally every place. I hope this isn't the new normal, but I fear that they're exploding in numbers.
The CDC says alpha-gal syndrome, traditionally found in mid-Atlantic states, is spreading. 110,000 suspected cases have been identified since 2010, but experts estimate the true number affected is closer to 450,000.
Plum Island boasted how it was considered the safest virus lab in the world, until it wasn't. In 1978, foot and mouth disease did get out. Every animal on the island had to be cremated, but not before lunch.
Wait. Did you just say lunch?
All day, the guys upstairs would carve up steaks
Skip it.
from sirloins
Fuck
to
you.
pork
Wait a
chops.
minute.
Not
Asshole
USDA grade
fish.
A, but USDA grade V for virus. Everyone, to a man, would deny it. But we did it. We ate the meat.
Ugh, I don't feel well.
Now, FMD isn't dangerous to humans, but this speaks to shoddy conditions at Plum Island. After the foot and mouth breakout, the USDA inspected the facility. They wrote a 190-page report detailing how mismanaged it was. They found leaking roofs, leaking walls, steel beams rusted through. They found an incinerator lying in a ditch half filled with dirty water. And soon after this, there was an outbreak of Rift Valley fever on the island. Weaponized RVF was being tested by infecting mosquitoes. Some mosquitoes got out and bit the scientists. Now, luckily, they knew how to treat it. But if those mosquitoes got off the island and made it to shore, Rift Valley fever presents like the flu, but if you don't treat it, it kills you. In 2002, 76 Plum Island workers went on strike. Scabs were brought in to replace them, and it did not go well. The FBI conducted an investigation and found all kinds of issues. A 600-gallon container of liquid nitrogen somehow fell off one of the island's ferries. Hundreds of gallons of oil and chemicals were spilled all over the island. 2 workers drove off with a minivan and didn't come back. The van was later found, but whatever was in it was gone. And failing to learn from their mistakes, 2 years later, there were 2 more outbreaks of foot and mouth disease on Plum Island. In New Haven, Connecticut, a worker at Yale University's arbovirus lab became infected with Sabia virus. This virus causes
Look at this part, we're just making shit up. It's all these fucking new viruses. It's like, what? What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that?
It's a new virus you gotta be like being aware of.
It's like fucking updates to a computer. They just keep adding more to the fucking list. This is why I think COVID was more of an inside job than it might have needed to be.
Yeah, because they made it an actual fun word to say.
The amount of all of these fucking countries fucking up this shit and fucking with biological warfare. Because, again, it didn't, like, we've always had plagues and stuff, but really once you hit, like, the 1920s, like, right after World War I, it's just like, it's rapid fire. Every 20 years, it's another fucking virus. And it's like, we're finding cures, but then also getting more viruses that are just being made and leaked in labs. But I think that's a good ending point for the COVID thing. You just drives the point home. I need to come down now before I get too fucked up.
Are you that bad?
Did you get that fucked up?
I'm pretty tipsy, man.
Do me a favor, shake your head a little bit.
No, I'm not that bad. Not gonna make me
God damn it.
But it's there's just a lot to unpack here. I do think the bird thing is a psyop to make conspiracy theories seem more like bullshit. Just like the transition from UFOs to UAPs, it's to confuse the populace. It's to make us believe it's like, oh, well, it's UFOs, so it's actually UAPs. Unidentified aerial phenomenon, unidentified flying object. It doesn't fucking matter. It's the same fucking word. But they change it up to make it more like, well, what is it? Which one? Right? Yes. I'll just yes and myself.
I thought you were gonna keep going with it.
No, it's...
Yeah, I literally thought you were gonna keep going.
It's, there's a lot to unpack here. I think, honestly, the one I'm mostly sold on is the fourth dimensional beings and the three-dimensional shadows. Like, the things that I've encountered, that's the only way to explain, like, some of the craziest shit I've seen in my life. Is just so fucking incomprehensible. That's why I actually really like H.P. Lovecraft and the concept of cosmic horror. Because fourth dimensional beings fall into that cosmic horror. The shit, if they are threatening, then the amount of fuck that we are is more than you can imagine. But
I can agree with that.
Yeah. But that, I think, wraps up today's Drunken Conspiracies. You know, fourth dimensional bird avian flu shadow virus babies.
I think he's dying.
I don't know, man.
Oh my god, Jack, look, he's shriveling up. What the fuck?
Do you guys have no
tinier.
afterthoughts?
I would say you really opened my mind with the whole fucking fourth dimensional thing.
Yeah, the dimensional stuff, yeah.
But the bird flu, or not bird flu, the birds being a psyop, I've always known it's a psyop, but I find it funnier when I scream out the word the birds work for the bourgeoisie at some pigeons in the local area.
One of the reasons that I saw behind that was, if you ever try to get close to the bird, it flies off, so they have to be a government like drone. I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
That's so silly.
It's like, I can go and buy a bird, and I can fucking kill it, cut it open. It's real.
You can cut it open, huh, bud?
Anybody have any final theses they want to talk about or bring up, or some points about, like, the things that were said?
Plum Island and disease, and like really pandemic levels of diseases are only going to get worse from here.
Yeah.
It's just like what the New York Times said. You know, like we should fear the next lab leak in quotations. Like,
yeah,
the shit.
Staying.
Yeah, the shit keeps coming out, and I don't trust the governments to have our best interest. A lot of some of the like rabbit holes I went down all led to the same thing: population control.
Yeah.
I could agree with that wholeheartedly.
Oh god.
Stay informed, people.
Stay informed. Do your own research.
Information is the next superpower. Don't ever doubt having information.
Believe none of what you hear and only half of what you see. Do your own research. Hopefully this one didn't get too political, because I have plenty of political conspiracy theories that would probably get us in trouble. But maybe we should do like private ones where we actually go dive into that shit. But hopefully this episode's well received in the future. I got links to a couple of our social medias in the bio. If you guys want to see more of these kinds of videos, I'm actually coming down pretty fast. I hate my metabolism. I can never get to... I drank like a third of the bottle. It's fucking... I'm just coming down already.
He's like, I'm already done with it.
I'm just like tired now.
Oh, man.
There's a lot of shit out there that you just don't know, but I'm here to drunkenly try to explain it to y'all and change your mind. Again,
Changing minds one drunk stream at a time.
Share the video with other people who might be interested in this kind of content. And we will probably do another one if if this is received well at all.
Yeah.
GG boys.
Hell yeah.
Watch your backs,
GG.
wear your tin hats, and don't fucking die.
Stay informed. Don't fucking immediately believe what they spoon feed you, man.
It's got to rhyme. Watch your backs, wear your tin hats, and don't die.
That
Or
doesn't
you'll go
rhyme.
flying.
Well, the last part isn't a rhyme. It's like a haiku.
Well, say it's a haiku then. Don't say it as a
Watch
rhyme.
your backs.
Rules for thee, but not for me, asshole.
Wear your hats.
Wear your tin
Go
hats.
and eat a bat. Wear your tin hats. Go eat a bat.
Go eat a bat.
I got it. Watch your backs, wear your tin hats, and